Well, hello there. So, I am gonna make some delicious elderberry syrup. So I bought a 1 pound bag of elderberries, European dried elderberries. I'm gonna take a picture of this. So I have a pot over here. I'm gonna finish getting some water, okay? Can you see that? So we're gonna go over there for a minute. I have 1 pound of the elderberries, so there's 4 cups. So for each for each cup, you need 4 cups of water. So 4 cups of berries, 16 cups of water, and I have 12 cups already. So we need 16 cups in total. So I'm making a butt ton of elderberry syrup. So come on over here, right there to my stove. Hopefully you can see everything, okay? So we're just gonna simply throw in this whole bag. I already measured them just to make sure. Can you see these little guys? They're really tiny, dried, beautiful elderberries. So I found a couple different recipes. I'm just kind of hodgepodging it. We're just gonna go with it. There we go. So if you know anything about elderberries, they are incredible for your immune support. You can find elderberry syrup like at natural food stores and stuff, but they can be expensive. But you can just go on Amazon and get yourself a bag of elderberries and make it yourself. And you can make a bunch of it, and then you can sell them, or you can just give them to your friends. When you're done, just grab jars like this, fill them up, and give them out. Super great gifts. And then every day, give your kids a teaspoon every single day during the flu season. Every day during any day, any time of the season, it's just great. So we're just gonna bring this to a boil. And then I'm just gonna make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. And then after we strain it, I'm gonna add the sweetener. It calls for raw honey, but I am keto, so I'm not gonna use honey, I'm gonna use Swerve. I'm going to use the brown sugar Swerve, and I'm going to use the granulated Swerve, and probably a little bit of stevia, just because I don't have 8 cups of Swerve, and I don't think it needs 8 cups, quite frankly. So that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to add some Young Living Thieves Essential Oil. There we go. So I'll talk about that when I do that toward the end, after it's all cooked. But if you're not keto, raw honey is absolutely the way to go. There's incredible therapeutic properties in that. I love raw honey. And I think the 1 pound bag was like $23 on Amazon. And I'm gonna make a vat of syrup. And I'm gonna be able to bless like a ton of friends. It's gonna be super great. You can also use fresh ginger, but I actually have ginger essential oil that I'm going to add to it. Again, I'm going to do that at the end when it's cooked and it's off the heat. And I will only add Young Living Vitality essential oils because I know exactly what is in them. These are made for ingesting only. Do not ingest any other essential oils. Go to seedtoseal.com and you can watch their entire process, literally from the seed to the seal, and you'll be impressed. I've been to one of the farms in Utah. I have planted the seeds and I've seen their entire process. And nobody can match what Young Living does. Their standards are impeccable. The essential oil industry is unregulated, and they only expect or want or I can't think of the word, not allow, but they regulate that 5% of the bottles have essential oil in them. The rest of it can be 95% of crap. Synthetics, fillers, fragrances. And Young Living's bottles are 100% pure, therapeutic grade, unadulterated awesomeness. So that is the only thing I will use, the only thing I will put in me. That's why I use them. That's why I ingest them. That's all I will ever use in my recipes, on my kids, in my kids. It's that important. Purity matters. Super fabulous. All right, we're almost at a boil. And then this simmers for 15 minutes. All right, well, it has been 15 minutes, so now I'm going to take this little strainer and we're going to, as carefully as possible, get these elderberries into the strainer. And we'll just push the juices through. Maybe I've got a slotted spoon that might work a little bit easier. And after these elderberries cool, I'll bring them out to my mom's chickens. So nothing will go to waste. Now that I know how easy this is, I'll never buy elderberry syrup again. So easy. So I'll just add the sweetener to it and then cook it down, let it cool, put it in jars, and add our essential oils to it. Or if you're not using essential oils, add your cinnamon sticks or cloves or ginger while it's cooking down. Delicious. Or whole cloves, whatever you choose to use. The raw honey. Try to get these last little guys out. Some of them are sticking to the side a little bit, but we'll get them out. Some are a little bit brown and hard to see, or the purple ones are hard to see, but it'll all be worth it. And as I'm hovering, I'm getting a nice facial. It's fantastic. I think we're good. We're a couple little stragglers. I mean, can you guys see this? That is a pot of like goodness, and I mean we're gonna boil it down, but it's still a lot of, it's gonna be a lot of syrup. So I'm just squishing this out. There's a little bit of syrup left. And tomorrow morning, this whole bucket of goodness is gonna go to the chickens. They're gonna be excited. And this will go back. All right, so it said each cup of berries, they wanted 2 cups of sugar or honey. I'm not gonna do that much. I'm gonna do for the whole thing. So when I write the recipe out, I'm just gonna do like one of the normal recipes. I quadruple the recipe, but so I'm gonna do 2 cups of granulated swerve. A little bit less, but about 2 cups, and probably about 2 cups of the brown sugar swerve. I mean, what I don't have, I can figure out with stevia, so it's not a big deal. So I have a cup and a half. So we're probably going to do, so per 1 cup is roughly a teaspoon of stevia. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of stevia. We're just going to cook that down. Like, I'll bring this to a boil and let it simmer just like you would to thicken any type of a sauce or jam. So we'll give that a whirl, see how that works out. Take a little bit to mix it in. So because I'm using swerve and stevia, that's going to be low in the glycemic index. This is going to be great for keto, it's great for diabetics. It's great if you're concerned with sugar spikes in your kids. Just trying to dissolve. Sometimes the stevia doesn't like to dissolve right away, but it's pretty darn hot, so it's dissolving really well. I'll check the taste in a minute when it's all dissolved really well. I can see some of the brown sugar swerve still. Just take another minute. There's still a little bit of elderberry in there. Maybe some of it was stuck to the bottom. I'll pluck them out if I see them. No big deal. It's really hot. Wow, that's really sweet. It's almost too sweet, actually. I'm gonna put a little sea salt in there. Try to balance that out. I probably only needed 1 teaspoon of the stevia. That swerve is pretty sweet, so. Hopefully that is gonna be okay, because now it's gonna concentrate. Hopefully I didn't totally mess that up. That's a lot of elderberry. It's still super sweet. How can I unsweeten that? Put a little bit more salt. We're gonna do a little more salt. We are. I know, I'm crazy. I'll put a little bit of pepper. Just a little bit. Take the edge off of that. Just a little. And black pepper is actually not a bad thing. Oh, you know what I wanted to add was some turmeric. Anti-inflammatory. Let me see, turmeric. Not cayenne, that would be bad. Turmeric. Nice, some organic turmeric. Actually, I have a little cinnamon stick. Why not? I'll throw a bit in there. Where is my turmeric? I'm gonna put a touch of apple cider vinegar. Can't find my turmeric. Oh well. Let's see if that'll tone it down a little bit. Apple cider vinegar is a delicious thing to add to anything with it for the immune support, so. We can fix this. We can fix it. It'll be okay. Oh, maybe it's over here. I have an awful, there it is, next to my multiple cans of cayenne, turmeric. I need to add some of that. We're going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. Actually, a couple teaspoons because I've made. So 2 teaspoons. So I know my friend had a half a teaspoon in her recipe, and I've quadrupled it. So there we go. Great anti-inflammatory properties. And the apple cider vinegar for the gut health. So we're gonna give that a whirl. Let's see. Okay, that's definitely a little more balanced. More balanced. But I'm putting more apple cider vinegar. More balanced. We're getting there. Yeah, I definitely should have measured that. That was probably, what, a quarter cup? I'm going to say it's a quarter cup apple cider vinegar. I'll have to pour that through the strainer again. There's a whole bunch of elderberries coming up. Perfect. That is delicious. That is, boom, spot on. Perfect. 2 teaspoons of turmeric, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and now we're just going to simmer it down and we'll strain it out. So I ended up straining out the elderberries a second time with this strainer here. And so I'm going to actually use this little funnel to put it in the jars. And then I took a drop of Young Living Thieves Vitality. I put actually 2 drops, and I added Thieves Ginger Vitality. So we're adding immune support. And I cooked it down quite a bit. I probably didn't need to cook it down quite as much as I did. So it's still very liquidy. It's not going to be thick like a syrup, but it's pretty great. And now we're just going to fill some jars. These are 1 pint jars, I think. And I'd say just take a teaspoon every day. Give it to your kids. Take it for yourself, your husband, your wife. Yeah, because it makes, you know, it's not a syrup, you can definitely, after you cook it for the 15 minutes and you squish the berries through the strainer, do that twice. You don't need to boil it down. So I really should have double the amount in this recipe. So you'll get quite a bit more in the jars. I'm going to try and get 3 jars out of this. So it would be 1 pound of berries, and I'm hoping to get 3 pints of syrup. Oh. There we go. That's pretty great. Look pretty even. So there we go. We've got 3 beautiful pints of pure, organic, wild European elderberry syrup. Super exciting. That's awesome. Fantastic. So I will definitely link the recipe in here. I hope you guys give this a try, and happy immune supporting to you guys. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.